Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to preface this by saying that anybody out there who gets their jollies by enjoying people's misery, sit back and enjoy. Have a great time. It's on me. All of it was on me. Oh, broke. How I know thee, let me count the ways. Yeah, I've been broke. One of the times I was in college, eating hot dogs after hot dog after hot dog, until ramen noodles, 4 for $1, came on the market. I broke my heart. Other people broke my heart. About a week ago, I broke half my molar. But that's not what I want to talk about tonight. I don't want to talk about something that broke. I want to talk about something that hasn't broken, that isn't broke, and that's my spirit. Let me explain that when I was in 5th grade, I was a nerd. I liked to study. I liked good grades. I went to St. Alphonsus Catholic School in Maple Glen. I don't know if anybody's here from Maple. That's not. Oh, well. Okay. I don't know where they come up with their traditions, but there was a tradition where if you got the highest marks on all the tests on Friday afternoon, come Monday, you could have the first seat in the row. And if you had the first seat in the row, you could be the person that passed out the papers, and you could be the person that did all the important things. I wanted that job so badly. And I studied, and I studied. But you know who else was in my row? I'm not going to tell you her name, but it always did thrill me that her initials were PP. But PP was in my row, and she got 100 on everything, But finally one week, she must have been absent, I did it. I got the highest average in the row, and I got that cherished first seat. Yes, it was the week of Christmas vacation, and there was one school day in that week. But my spirit wasn't broken. My spirit wasn't broken. I still studied. I was still a nerd. Flash forward to college. Actually, back up to high school. I wanted to be Secretary of State. I read about Henry Kissinger, and I decided this is what I wanted to do. Okay. So I go to Rosemont College. Anybody Rosemont College? No, okay. I go to Rosemont College and I study international studies. So my best friend at the time's father was an ambassador. Now he wasn't a U.S. ambassador, he was an ambassador from another country which shall remain nameless. And he came to visit. And of course I was very impressed because I want to work with the State Department, and here's a man who's an ambassador. And we sat down at lunch and he said, "What do you want to do with your life?" And I said, "I want to be Secretary of State." And he looked me straight in the eye and he said, "You can't." Well, I didn't know what to say, except, why? You're a woman. Well, I think there's a Madeline, a Condoleezza, and a certain Hillary that might have proven him wrong. But I didn't give up. I didn't give up. So I graduated with honors, international studies, and I went off to Foggy Bottom, Georgetown, to start my career so I could be Secretary of State. Nobody told me there was a government freeze on. They weren't hiring. So now I had a degree. I took myself to an employment agency and they said, "How fast do you type?" Well, now, when I was back in Upper Dublin and you were in honors classes, you didn't take typing classes. And you didn't grow up on a computer the way the kids do today. So anyway, long story short, I told them, I type with these 2 fingers, and I type like maybe a word a minute. No, really, how fast do you type? I'm like, I don't type. Okay. So I went to work at Sears. Spirit wasn't broken. I kept trying, put in government applications. There was an election. The Democrats were leaving. The Republicans were coming in. They lifted the freeze. The Department of Labor called me and said, "We want you. We've had your application on file." Those of you enjoying misery, I hope you're having a good time at this point, because this is my life. No. But anyway, I was all excited. I quit my job at Sears. I had my exit interview. I was all set. My foot was out the door. I got a phone call from the Department of Labor. You were frozen. So, this is why you don't burn your bridges. I had to go back to the vice president and get my job back after having had my exit interview. Luckily, like I say, I didn't burn my bridges. All right. So you might think that was enough, but I got one more. I decided, after somebody said to me, you know, you always have a plan. No matter what happens, you have a plan. And I said, yes, I do. And now I decided I was going to be a Montgomery County, Maryland police officer. So I went and took the test, and I passed the test, and I did the interview, and I was all set for my physical, and I was training, and I was in good shape then. And I could run, and I could do the push-ups, and I could do everything. So I went for the physical, and the very first part of the physical, they give you an eye exam. I failed. I kept squinting. She said, don't squint. I said, please. Now, I'm not going to make a donut joke, okay, because I love policemen. But that was it. The closest I got to my spirit being broken, I think, was almost then. I went into my brother's room, started playing police albums real loud, screaming to Shadows in the Rain, trying to get my life together. But I came up with a plan. All right. He's going to ring his bell. Okay. That's good, because you know what? I have more, but I don't want to totally depress you. Or myself, because I'm really starting to think, wow, it's been tough. But I want to leave you with this. The closest, really, that my spirit's ever been broken was when a loved one, someone very close and dear to me, once said to me, you know what? You don't look good in contacts. So while you ponder that and get my scores, thank you very much.
Kathleen, everybody.